Well, I made it. Indian Rock House. So does anybody know what kind of snake that is? Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. I knew it would. Zoom. There went a bear. Big old black bear. The rain has started to move in. It's coming down pretty good, y'all. A large part of me was like, screw this. The best overlook I have seen here yet. Guys, I cannot begin to tell you how wet I am. I'm freaking shaking, I'm so cold. Yes, the rain finally stopped. It is overflowing its banks. I am a little frustrated that number one, my creek is flooded. I'm not sure how I'm going to get across there if it doesn't go down in the morning. I really don't want to backtrack. All I can say is I hope they go down a lot by morning. If the creek doesn't go down, I don't know. So anyways, y'all, this is I guess day 2, and we're going to call it a wrap. I will see you guys in the morning. Morning. Yeah, it got a little cool last night. How's it going, folks? Had more rain come in overnight. Not as hard as what it did the night before, but enough to where I'm a little concerned as far as how I'm going to get back out of here. So my options, if the creek has not receded, then I'm probably looking at a really, really long road walk all the way back to the truck. That is the least preferable option, but it's probably the safest. You can try to, ford this creek to the bridge and then cross the bridge and then ford the rest of the creek to the other side and hope that the trail on that side's not underwater. And that's kind of the way I was wanting to go back. That's probably next to taking a road walk, that's probably the longest way back, and that's going to give me the most scenery and the most time in the woods. But I'm not going to really be able to make a solid determination until I get out of my hammock. Awesome. So yesterday, when I hiked to this point, this whole campsite, everything basically starting about right here, all the way out was underwater, which left me kind of wondering if I was going to have to. There's a trail that goes up through there. I think it's a horse trail that leads back to the road, and I thought maybe I was going to have to take that out this morning. I am pleased to see that is not the case. I mean, this is going to be sloppy going through here, but the creek has returned to its bed, thankfully. Woo! Should be a fun day of hiking, but for now, let's go check out that waterfall I was showing you guys last night. There's an all too familiar sound. But wait, what is this? These are not raindrops. It's icing. Well, we are packed up and we are on the trail. Holy wildflowers, Batman. If you're into wildflowers, which I am, this is a great little hillside. So We are socks on hands again today. There's an interesting story. See that burn? Who remembers yesterday when I was cooking socks? Trying to dry them out a little bit. Yeah. So apparently you can overcook a sock, because I sure did. We're about to go through the slop area here now. Oh, splash, splash. Let's get over there on the other side and we'll take a look at the trails and we'll evaluate and decide what we want to do as far as which way we're going to go back. I mean, even this area here last night was all underwater. Middle Creek, Parched Corn, Cherry Creek. Son of a gun! Well, anybody want to guess what just happened there? That is a little slippery. Crap, my butt is all wet. I'm sure my pack is covered in mud. My poles. Dang it. We are headed this way. And we'll just see what our two trails look like here. Now this is the Laurel Creek one, which is what we needed. Here's to hoping we don't have many creek crossings today. How slippery is this? That other stuff looked like sand, so I thought I was good. Dang it. Oh, there. Ew, slop, slop. Oh my gosh. It's so nasty. Look at that. Hike on, embrace the suck. We're just cruising along down this Laurel Fork Creek trail. Really muddy, really sloppy. Pretty slow going, to be honest. I've slipped and came really close to wiping out a few times since the last time when y'all were with me and we wiped out. I'm just cruising along, enjoying a quiet morning walk in the woods, and it's not raining, so another large, beautiful waterfall that unfortunately runs right across my path. Well, I heard this giant rushing sound over here from the creek, and for the first time it looked like there might be an actual way to get over here and see. A lot of these, I've been hearing tons of these things, like you can hear it in the background right now. There's just no way to get down to them. The banks are too steep. This one I decided to check out, and boy am I glad I did. Look at this thing. Woo! This is a nice little waterfall. Multiple levels. Yeah, beautiful. Snow. They're real tiny, but they are definitely, without a doubt, snowflakes. But as you recall, at the beginning of the trip I did say we would see the full gamut of weather systems along this trip. How do you pack for a trip like that, where it's going to be in the 70s up close to 80 on one day, or at least at one point during a day. You're going to have tons of wet weather, and it's going to get cold enough that it's going to snow. I just hope I packed enough. Would appear that our snow is picking up in intensity. I don't know if you can hear that rushing water off to the side, but the whole trip has been like this. It gets a little louder sometimes and a little softer others, but pretty much this whole hike through here on this Laurel Fork Creek Trail, you've constantly got the sound of rushing water, always within earshot. And waterfalls. Waterfalls is another theme of this hike today, because I cannot begin to tell you, I had to stop recording them and stop taking pictures, otherwise I'd have never made it anywhere, because it seemed like about every 150 yards or so there was another waterfall coming down the mountain on me. All of them beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, we still have not really exactly decided what the plan for tonight is. On the one hand, we could stay on this all the way back to where we left it when we joined the West Entrance Trail on day one. On the other hand, when we get over here around Bandy and Cherritt Creek, we could angle our way north on the Sheltowee for a minute and then jump off and head pretty much right back to the truck, either via a 2 or 3 mile road walk, or we could go up and go around through Jake's place and past Needle Arch and all that. So I guess we'll decide when we get a little closer. For now, it's a beautiful, albeit chilly, walk in the woods. I'm not going to truck across there. I stuck my hiking pole down in there just right here at the beginning, like before it gets deep. It's already over knee high. So it looks like the trail goes across this creek and then it kind of fluctuates, it goes up this way, and then it looks like right up there we're going to cross back across. So that being the case, I think I'm going to off trail it and try to find my way up there. See if I can hook back up with this trail again without having to cross this thing. If not, maybe I can at least find a shallower, slower spot to cross. Whew. Wow. Okay. We're still off trail. My idea to just follow the creek along the side there, not happening. Hit a straight down wall. And I literally just climbed up this thing behind me, and once you get to that little ledge right there, it drops straight down to the creek or that river or whatever you want to call it. That was a tough climb with a backpack on, man. It was very much like getting up to that last arch I saw at the Red, where I had to use my hands and basically the trees and pull myself up. Only this time I had my backpack on, which made it much more difficult. So I think I'm gonna sit here and catch my breath for a minute, maybe have a little snack, and then we're gonna fire up the GPS and we're gonna see if that bad boy can navigate us to the next section of trail we're trying to get to. Ready to do a little exploring. Check this out. I don't know if there's a name for this arch, But this is a very cool area. Check that out. What's concerning is that I can now see what I've got ahead of me, and it doesn't look real good. I don't know if there's going to be a way around this or not. We'll go as far as we can, but there's a giant rock wall right there. Well, GPS says trail is that away, so that away we shall go. And right there is where I would have crossed it again. Now, I made it across there by darn near killing myself and going up the mountain ridge and working along the side of it and then dropping down, and I crossed on that log right there over that little creek. Would I recommend that route? Not unless you are really experienced and you have a good GPS and you've got good maps. The thing that this has definitely shown me is that even though I would like to stay on this Laurel Creek Trail all the way back to the truck, there are just, I know I've got those 15 creek crossings ahead, and there's just, based on what I've seen today, it's just too high still. I'm gonna swing over and around by Cherritt Creek and head out past Needle Point and all, or Needle Arch and all that. I remember there being a couple of decent campsites over there around Jake's place, so I think that's where I'm gonna head to. Well, folks, this has been a most interesting trip. This has been unlike any trip I've ever done before. I've never had one where the weather has been through all the changes like this. I've never had one where I've had to off-route quite like that. That was insane. I tell you, it would have been challenging on a dry, warm, sunny day with no backpack. You throw that backpack on, you make all the leaves wet and slippery. And yeah, it was unlike anything I've ever done before. It was definitely exciting. So, and it was totally worth it. You know, you get off trail, you get to see really cool stuff like that arch I saw up there. But again, you know, if you don't have the expertise or the confidence in your navigational skills to do so safely, stay on the trail, folks. It is snowing again, and my coffee ought to be just about ready to go here. Yep. So we're gonna have some coffee, have a little bit of lunch, and then we're gonna hike on. Another creek crossing. Ah. Oh yeah. Ooh. Okay, now the water feels more like it did in the Red River Gorge. Ah. Feet going numb. Oh my goodness. Ah. That's cold. Oh no, I don't want to cross it again. Can you see our trail sign? Way up there. Which means the trail is actually through the creek. I think I'm gonna probably cross, just loop around off trail again. Man alive. Ugh. Woo! Oh, that's a little deeper. And that's a little deeper yet. Yeah. Well, the good thing is, once your feet go numb from the first one, you can't really feel it too much after that. But as you get deeper, obviously further up your leg gets wet, and that you feel. Jarrett Creek, Middle Creek to the left, Bandy Creek behind us, Station Camp that way. We are heading towards Jarrett Creek. Most of the trails just have something like this that shows you what is allowed, but doesn't really tell you where it goes. So that is how I have gotten turned around so many times this weekend. Temperatures are cool, the wind's blowing, the woods is quiet. Not unenjoyable by any means. It's actually pretty enjoyable. I'd be lying if I said I was excited to see this. I could have went the rest of the day without another creek crossing, to be honest with you. My feet were just starting to get the feeling back from the last ones. Suck it up, Buttercup. Actually, you know what? That doesn't feel too bad. It actually feels kind of good. Allow me to explain. So, since day one, I've not had any more knee pain in that left knee. I mean, by the end of day one, my left knee was really barking, and I was wondering how this was all going to play out. But since then, I've not had any more problem out of my left knee. What I have had is this foot right here, my right one, the area right on top where your ankle meets your foot. I don't know what you call that muscle, but it runs down and it attaches actually to the top of the arch of your foot, on the top side of your foot, like right above the arch. And that muscle is not very happy with me right now, and hasn't been for a couple of days. So I'm not sure what's happening there, what's going on with that, but I can tell you that that cold soaking water right there felt pretty good. Well, there's a good sign. We're gonna camp over around Jake's place tonight, because nobody tunes in to see a hiking video where the dude sleeps in the truck on the last night. Kind of fair weather hiker or fair weather backpacker does something like that. Not this guy, that's for sure. Can you hear the fake machoism in my voice? There's going to be days when I'm doing through hikes in the not too distant future, and the weather's going to be cold sometimes, the weather's going to be wet sometimes, the hiking's not always going to be pleasant. And what am I going to do? Just quit? Nah. Gonna suck it up, Buttercup. One thing we did was we pitched our tarp a little lower to the ground, and hopefully that's going to block some of that wind that was rushing underneath me last night. We'll see. We got our nice little cozy setup rocking in there. This is camp. The trail is actually right there. and I am not too far past Jake's place at all. I wanted to check out a spot that I had saw the last time I went through there, and it was a nice campsite, but honestly it was trashed. People had been camping there all over in that Jake's place area, and they just left tons of garbage. Now, when I was here last year, Jake's place was actually closed. You couldn't camp there. And if this is the way people treat it, you know, they go in there and they trash it and they leave all their garbage behind. I mean, there's bears here, without a doubt. Whoever says there's no bears here, they just haven't been in the right places. I guarantee you there are bears here. And you leaving food and stuff out like that, and your garbage, all that's going to do is ruin it for the next guy. You know, the next guy comes in and he wants to camp there. Well, the bears have already started to figure out, hey, this is where the people hang out and the people have food. And all of a sudden you get people having issues with the bears. Or they just have to shut the area down like they did last year. So, anyways, I'll get off my soapbox, but I came up the way here just a little bit and decided to go ahead and stop and call it a day. We are going to camp here tonight. We'll get up in the morning, head up the trail, and we're maybe 3 or 4 miles from the truck right now. I mean, we could get back there right now if we wanted to, but this is the last night I'm going to have in the woods on this trip, so why not take advantage of it? What, quit just because we've got some of this beautiful snow falling? Nah. It's beautiful. Cold, but beautiful. Well, folks, we are to my favorite part of the day. Time to get supper ready. I got my water warming up here. Just warming my hands up as well. Tried to get a fire going. It took off for a little bit, and then all the dry stuff that I found burned out. And honestly, I don't feel like running around here all night collecting these tiny little dry sticks off the trees, which is the only thing dry enough to burn. So, I think we'll eat supper, and then with the temperatures dropping and the snow still falling like it is, we'll probably call it an early night, get into bed so that we can get up bright and early in the morning, make the trek out of here, check out Needle Arch and Slave Falls again, and that'll be it. Now, I'm going to get some of this food in. Well, if the snow doesn't cover it all up first, I'll show you what we did. We camped right about there because the creeks were flooded. We got up this morning, creeks were no longer flooded. Woohoo! We were able to cross, and then we hopped on this Laurel Fork Creek trail. We followed him all the way down to here, and then right here at this section, this is where we got off trail, and we went around this way, and we ended up looping down and joining back up with the trail here, which saved us a creek crossing. So then we jumped on the Sheltowee, and we followed it all the way up here to this area, and at this intersection then we headed this way, popped out here, caught this Jake's Place loop, brought it over to here, thought about camping right there, changed our mind, decided to come along this way, and I would say we are camped probably right in here somewhere. Tomorrow we will finish this hike the rest of the way out. We'll see Needle Arch. We will loop on around this way, come back out here to the Sawmill Trailhead, and then drop right back down to where the truck is parked right over there. My food is still hydrating. My fire has gone out. The snow continues to fall. It's pretty. That hit the spot. Used a little too much water, but what is it? Not the rice side, but their pasta side. So I had the Knorr pasta. It was just some kind of noodles, and then some butter, garlic potatoes, and then I tried a packet of chicken, chunk chicken that you can carry. And man, other than being a little soupy, that was delicious. It's still cold. And every time that wind picks up, man, I just get to shaking like nobody's business. I think, even though it's still plenty daylight early, and the time is probably only about 7 o'clock or so, I'm gonna go ahead and get changed and get into my hammock and get into these down quilts. So maybe I'll stop shaking. I'm tired of shivering. This will likely be the end of day number 3. We'll see you in the morning. Morning! Day number 4. This is going to be the shortest day yet. We don't have real far to go. We're going to see Needle Arch and Slay Falls, and then we'll be back to the truck. Probably back to civilization by lunchtime. It's about 8 a.m. It did get cold last night. It got real cold. It snowed, and then everything froze, including my wet shoes and socks. That was a real treat to put on this morning, let me tell you. So, well, enough of the chit-chat, folks. Let's get on the trail here so my feet can thaw out and start warming these socks and shoes back up and get them dried out maybe by the time we get back. Well, so much for keeping our feet dry this morning. I did not just randomly pick a creek and start walking up it. This is the trail. That looks like a big old bear track. Second one I think I've seen. I thought I saw something back here a little bit. I was like, nah. But yeah. Humans don't generally walk on their toes and make tiny little divots like that. It'd be something worth keeping our eyes open on, because he appears to be heading the same way we are. Hey, bear! Yep! Never hurts to be sure. Hey, don't look now, folks, but we have found that big bright yellow thing in the sky that makes everything warm. Feels like it's been a little while since we've seen him. Well, folks, I love it when I get to places like this. Slay Falls. This is like a giant playground to me. I'm just trying to determine which way I want to go exploring first. There's a huge rock bluff surrounding me.
Place sounds like there's a jet engine in here, and it's just the sound of the water roaring. That is beautiful. I love it.
What a beautiful little area. I get into spots like that and man, time just gets away from me. I've not been in contact with my wife since I left on Friday. It is now Tuesday. She's probably a little worried about me. So I'm going to try to bus tail, get up to Needle Arch, and we'll cruise on out to the truck. Get this party back on the highway. Man alive. Tons of blowdown along this trail. Gosh, I'm not even sure how we're going to get around some of this stuff. I've been off-routing it quite a bit already, trying to get over these things. If you don't have a backpack, it's easy. You can crawl right through there. I'm probably going to have to climb this silly thing. Blow down. Oh no. What are we going to do? We're going to have to turn around and go back. We can't. I mean, there's just no way around this thing. There's the trail behind me. Yeah. Whew. This is different, man. I finished that other section where I had to go way up the hill 30 feet back, and I've crossed 3 other blowdowns since then. And now we got another one. And this one. So you can't go that way. You'll fall off the mountain. You can go that way. You got a super high climb. I think the only way I'm getting through here, belly crawl. Yeah, that is fun with a backpack, let me tell you. I'm not complaining, folks. I'm just grunting. I enjoy this stuff. This is fun. It's some work, but you know, I don't mind work. I never have. If I did, climbing up mountains with backpacks on my back would not be my forte. So, as I'm hiking up the side of this mountain, crawling under trees and over trees and everything else along the way, I find myself wondering, whose job is it to cut stuff like that out of there? I know it's somebody's, because as you go along you see stuff from previous falls, like right there, but somebody's cut that with a chainsaw. How do you get the job where you wander around in the woods all the time, packing a backpack and a chainsaw, clearing the trails? That sounds like a perfect gig for me. Perfect. I think I'm gonna have to investigate that. Look at the patterns. This one looks like honeycomb. This one looks like ripple shells. Awesome. The lovely Needle Arch. Cool. Well, folks, we are at that point in the video, that point where we're headed back to the truck. We've got maybe a mile to go, and we'll be back there and we'll call this trip a wrap. This has been the most unusual, wild, adventurous trip I think I've had. I mean, there's from the bear, the big old snake, and I saw in the rain, the rain itself, the snow, the wind, the blowdown. Anyways, it's been a just a really, really wild and adventurous trip. I've enjoyed every minute of it. That being said, Big South Fork trip, April 2018, mission success. We made her back. There was a point, there were a couple of points where I wasn't sure that was going to be the case. In my mind, I'm thinking back to when I was looking at that flooded river I had to cross at the end of day 2, and then day 3 when I was off trailing it up the side of the mountain like a crazy man. Definitely some new stuff. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you felt like you were part of the adventure. Stay tuned. Let me just quickly say there are big things coming this summer from our family, and you'll want to be tuned in and watching. So go ahead and hit that like button down below. If you're into these sorts of videos, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. All right. We are back to where we started. When we began the trip, we came down this little path and we went across and we headed out on the Laurel Fork Creek Trail back on Saturday. This is us. Well, I don't know if I'm ever going to be back down here again, and I was curious about this when I saw this on the map. We've got Hazard Cave there, Indian Rock House that way. So let's go check these out real quick before we finish journeying home. Sure if this is it or not. It doesn't look like a cave, it just looks like a big old rock shelter. Look at all the ice. Wow, it's pretty cool. There's a little waterfall over here. I wonder if this is, surely this has to be Hazard Cave. Wow, I'm digging the waterfall. is massive. It's huge.
Hello. Woo. Woo.
Goes way back in there. Way. This has got to be the Hazard Cave. I don't know what else it would be. Hey, wow. I guess that's kind of an arch. Look, you can see daylight through there. Somebody made a tiny little something. Well, Hazard Cave was pretty cool. Let's go see if Indian Rock House is just as sweet. Pretty cool. And over here, I bet, is the Indian Rock Shelter. Protect the sand wart. Check that out. You can see where eventually there's going to be an arch right there. It's starting to separate out. It already has. Separate out away from there. It's washed out underneath. Another arch. Awesome. All right, back to the truck, on the road. Sure, wifey's worried. I'm fine. I just can't help myself. These places are so amazing, so gorgeous. Okay, I gotta go. It's almost noon. I got 6.5 hour drive ahead of me. That's it, John. No more hiking. Done. Stop. Well, it ain't Miguel's, but it'll have to do.